we have another thing to talk about. PragerU is actually going to be official in Oklahoma. And when I say official, I mean they're going to be part and parcel to the education curriculum. So... let's go ahead and cover that. But first, let's get into the fan art section, you guys. The first piece of fan art we have here is from Sky Lily. Timer-kun as a waifu, a.k.a. Timer Mommy. Y'all need Jesus. The next one we have here is from Pernia. No context is given here, but it is my character in a Viced Rhino shirt doing the Hello Sweetie, which is normally used on Viced Rhino's channel. Said, I don't know if you want to, but you forgot an intro in the fan art for that one. Oh, I know what I did, Jack and Quill. I tried to find a way to get the fan art into that last video. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head, so after the 3-minute mark, I said, fuck it, and just kept on going. Vice used it in his intro today. Ooh. And then, of course, we have another one from Pernia. Decided I didn't like the other picture, so here is Schrodinger's Panties 2.0. Oh. It's Schrodinger's panties because we don't know if the model's actually wearing panties. Also, can I bring everybody in just real quick? Can we have a moment to worship our Lord and Savior, Thigh Squish? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and get right into the first topic here. The actual topic. That's not a rant from me. But, yay! Oklahoma helps PragerU dig its claws deeper into southern schools. On Tuesday, Oklahoma became the second state after Florida to approve the use of materials from the right-wing propaganda site PragerU into its state's public schools. Oh boy, thank you for the hydrate, Eros. I'm gonna need it. The organization, which isn't actually a university, despite what its name suggests, came under fire in August after one of its videos went viral for all the wrong reasons. The video used a cartoon version of abolitionist Frederick Douglass to downplay the devastation caused by slavery and the United States' role in perpetuating it. The civil rights watchdog, the Southern Poverty Law Center, has, on PragerU's influence, finding that it promoted videos with hosts who denounce immigration, despite the existence of systemic racism, and deny ties between violent right-wing extremists and the conservative movement. You know, despite weird things happening, like the attempted Republican takeover of Washington, D.C. on January 6th. Weird, that. Arrows, thank you for redeeming your points for an you fucking degen. But the SPLC has also found that some of Prager's presenters have connections to white nationalists. Which, you know, of course they do. Of fucking course they do. PragerU's co-founder, Dennis Prager, is a former conservative radio host who openly admitted that his organization tries to indoctrinate children with conservative ideology. Interesting. Let's take a look at that one real quick. Let's segue for just a second. The Florida Department of Education said it reviewed PragerU kids and determined that the material aligns with Florida's revised civics and government standards. They had to revise the standards. Interesting. PragerU Kids is no different than many other resources which can be used as supplemental materials in Florida schools at district discretion. I think it's probably better if PragerU materials were just banned in public schools. I'm sorry, there's like when you found that the thing is just ideological propaganda, you just ban it. You just ban it. Governor DeSantis announced in a news release that he signed a House bill to give business employees and children of families tools to stand up against discrimination and woke indoctrination. Okay, well, we're at the point where we've covered all of this before, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back here. Oklahoma Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters said that he's excited about partnering with PragerU. These additional resources will help ensure quality instruction in American history and values, which will provide educational opportunities for our students. Oh boy. That school shouldn't have ideology, period. It's impossible to weed it out entirely. I had a conservative history teacher who tried to tell us that Obama was definitely chosen because of baseball conspiracies. Jack and Cole says, did a tree fall on his new house bill too? Said, I'm excited to announce this initiative with PragerU Kids today. These additional resources will help ensure quality instruction in American history and values and will enrich educational opportunities for our students. So we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot of the PragerU Kids stuff on this channel before. Shit's really, really gross, not gonna lie. Iridan says it'll provide them with educational opportunities in that we get the opportunity to educate these poor kids on how they're being lied to. How much harder is it going to be? How much harder is it going to be for us to actually talk with people who've been trained in PragerU? It's one thing to have kids who have had PragerU fed to them by their parents randomly, but it's going to be infinitely harder. It's going to be infinitely harder to teach people about, fucking reality when they're being indoctrinated by an organization whose entire purpose it is to make sure that America aligns further and further with the conservative right. Walters has developed a reputation for right-wing supporters. In a viral video earlier this year, he was seen arguing with an event attendee after Walters suggested that the Tulsa Race Massacre, one of the worst incidents of racist violence in United States history, wasn't about race. What? What? Please tell me they have a video in here. Please tell me they have a video in here. Wow. That's agitating. I actually wanted to see if there was a video on that one. More recently, he's been accused of stoking bomb threats against an Oklahoma librarian, whom he and a popular right-wing conspiracy theorist accused of pushing woke ideology in schools. What? Hold on. Interesting. I need WD-40 for my desk. These squeaks are annoying the crap out of me. Accused of stoking bomb threats. Interesting. I wonder what happened here. Democrats push for investigation of Ryan Walters, Oklahoma's firebrand school superintendent. In a statement Tuesday, the House Democrats said they've made a formal request to the GOP speaker to set up a bipartisan committee to investigate whether there's sufficient evidence to impeach Walters. The Democratic caucus cited Walters' consistent pattern of inflammatory language aimed at our public educators and teachers, and outright lies and targeted attacks. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's ushered in the nation's first religious charter school to put God back in schools, threatened to take over the state's largest school district in Tulsa, pushed out the local superintendent, all within 8 months of his being in office. Most recently, Union Public Schools, a district on the edge of Tulsa, said it has received bomb threats in 6 consecutive school days. The threats began last week after Walters shared a viral video that drew critical attention to one of the district's librarians on social media. Arakemi, thank you for the hydrate. Small Right, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. He said, left and right, people are asking us to get up, stand up, and do something to fix things and calm this down. State Representative Melissa Pravanzo said, a Democrat and assistant minority leader, said in an interview. Walters' spokesperson called the House Democrats' push for an impeachment investigation shameful. Of course they fucking would. In seeking to remove a popularly elected constitutional officer, they represent a direct threat to our democracy. It's not a direct threat to your democracy when the person you elected started fucking up and you want them out of office because they keep fucking up. That's not a threat to democracy. That is democracy. That is how democracy works. When we find that we don't like the thing, we vote the thing the fuck out. That is democracy. Jesus Christ, to go like, no, it's a threat to democracy if we are not allowed to hold power for as long as we want. It's a threat to democracy. My guy, get bent. Go home. The librarian's so-called misconduct, which led to the bomb threats, was a caption she posted on one of her TikTok videos, saying, "My radical liberal agenda is teaching kids to love books and be kind. How about you?" That's it? That's all she did? What? This is comical. This is comical. These people are supervillains. These people are actual supervillains. What the fuck? Florida and Oklahoma are just the first 2 states to welcome PragerU's propaganda into classrooms, and the organization is making moves on a 3rd. In Texas, Democratic members of the state's Board of Education have teamed up with experts and activists to denounce PragerU after the organization announced last month that it was partnering with the Lone Star State. The Texas Board of Education refuted the claim, saying instead that PragerU had just taken steps to become an approved vendor in Texas. Oh wow, PragerU lied about something? Weird, that. As I've said previously on MSNBC, we need to view these right-wing efforts to whitewash social inequality as a part of a campaign to recreate that disparity in the present and in the future. Said if you're able to whitewash the atrocities committed in the past and downplay the severity of them, it makes it easier to commit those atrocities again in the present. Conservative officials nationwide are rolling back civil rights for marginalized groups, gutting affirmative action for racial minorities, and overturning abortion rights. All the while, right-wingers seek to systematically sanitize the oppression these minorities faced in winning these civil rights, and PragerU is becoming an appendage for the conservative movement to do this. A tentacle they can use to reach into the classrooms and grip American school children with right-wing propaganda. I'm just going to go and say this right now. We've seen it repeatedly. But every single accusation that comes from the mouth of a vetted Republican official, every single one, is an admission of guilt. It is projection. Every last fucking one of them. And if you disagree with that, I'm sorry, but the Republicans that freak the fuck out about child indoctrination are actually engaging in the indoctrination in schools. The Republicans who freak out about needing to save the kids are the ones who are advocating for child marriage to be legal in Tennessee. The Republicans that are freaking out about the waning of religion in America are stripping their own religion of all of its humanitarian bits and trying to use it more as a cudgel. Every single one of these people engage in massive projection as opposed to actually doing anything good with their faith or with their arguments. Their entire purpose is to change the way that American kids think, the way that America moves, to swing the pendulum of progressivism all the way back, not to conservatism, but to regressivism. These people are not conservatives, because conservatives are trying to conserve something that currently is. These are people that are trying to erase progress that has currently happened and wind the clock backwards. Winding the clock backwards is not conservative. That's just regressive. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. You think it's okay that PragerU's sneaking into all the schools? Isn't that great? Isn't that cool for the people to get mad at public schooling being a thing people have access to, but then also corrupt that public schooling? Isn't that great? Isn't that just wonderful? Let me know in the comment section below. Insert end video tagline here.